If you've been watching my channel, you guys know I love the Dollar Tree, but I also like buying things and testing out the Dollar Tree toys. So in today's video, I picked up a couple things from Dollar Tree that I wanted to try. I'm gonna test them in this video and tell you if they're worth your dollar or not. Hey you guys, it's Christina from the Purple Alphabet. It's time to test some Dollar Tree toys. I actually have been doing this for quite a while, so I have an extensive playlist of all kinds of things that I found at the Dollar Tree, some that you can still buy today, and I've tested them and said whether I loved them or hated them, they were worth your dollar or not. If you want to see that playlist, I'm going to put it down below in the description box. You can go right to it after you watch this video because you're going to find tons more Dollar Tree toy tests in those. In today's video, I did pick up a few more things that were kind of new toys to me, and I wanted to test them to see how well they did and to give you my opinion on whether or not they are worth your dollar. So let's do a Dollar Tree toy test. Some of you guys have told me that you absolutely love the Dollar Tree dough. I have never tried it. So these sets come with the jar of dough. Normally you can get the modeling dough. I think it's like 4 or 5 colors to a pack. Someone is gonna have to let me know how many come in a normal pack. But this package comes with the tools with different sets. There must have been maybe 4 or 5 different sets. So you get one color of dough and then each one had different things inside of it. And then the top of the Play-Doh, here's the lid that goes onto the container, also has a little mold on it, and this is how it normally comes. So we've got the little plunger, and this is where you put the dough inside, and then you'd push it through there. You have an orange heart, a blue X, and this looks like, I'm not sure what that looks like. If it's a little squiggle line, I guess. And then we have a star shape. So these are supposed to go on the end. They snap right on. That's pretty cool. And you can push it out there. So let's try it out. It's pretty good. And it feels like regular Play-Doh. This is great. Take a little bit, fit it in like a kid would, right? I picked this one because that'd be great for fine motor. It's just another tool for a fine motor tool get. And it's working with some strength. So you definitely need some hand strength. Oh. It just popped out. Popped off the whole piece. Let's give that another shot. Maybe I didn't have it on there. Try again. Nope, pushed it right off. Well, that's frustrating. Let's give it a shot with another one. So it did what it's supposed to do, but the piece, this little cap popped off. Let's try this one. If you guys have had any experience with this, it's different than mine, you do have to let me know down in the comments because I understand that it's going to be different for everyone. I was liking this because it's really good for fine motor strength, but if it pops off, that's not going to be good. Okay, it's working. Got little spaghetti noodles and then a really long squiggle noodle. Okay, this one isn't popping off. That's good. Oh, it popped off at the end. It keeps popping off at the end. So right when that plunger gets to the end, this is popping off. The feeling that still happened with this red one, but we will give it a shot. Last chance. Okay, it's working. It's working. It's gonna pop off when we get to the end. Almost there. Oh, it stayed on, you guys. So that one worked. It stayed on. So maybe I just wasn't having good luck with it. So you guys, I don't know. I like it, but I don't like that it pops off because it gets very frustrating. So what do you all think? Do you think that's worth it or not? I'm having trouble deciding on it. And you guys need to let me know in the comments if you think it's worth $1 if it pops off occasionally. I did fill it up all the way. And this time I didn't fill it up all the way and it pushed it right off. Either I got a bad set or I'm doing it wrong. You guys let me know, but I'm gonna have to give this particular one a thumbs down. It's not doing what I wanted it to do and I was really excited, but thumbs up for the dough. The dough is good. So this one is the red dough. We have a little rooster on our lid. And then this tool is very similar to the name brand Play-Doh one, where you have it here and you crank it down, but then it has all of these little plates that slide in here. Triangle shape, an X. This one has like a starburst and 2 little lines. Kind of looks like a fan almost. And then it also comes with 2 cookie cutters. So we get a little bird and then a little person. So those are great. Let's try this one. I'm going to slide it in here. I like the little spaghetti myself. Then we need the dough in there. Now, there's not a lot of room in there. Okay, I stuffed it full, and then we push down the little lever, but it's working. It's working. Okay, this one might be a winner. There's one full squeeze. We got some spaghetti noodles. That one worked. Perfect. All right, this one, you guys, works much, much better than the other one. And of course, the cookie cutters, I'm sure, work just fine too. Here's our person. He works great, and then he comes with a little bit more with the cookie cutters. So I'm gonna give this one thumbs up. I like this one a lot. So now that I've got dough in my fingernails, you'll have to excuse me. Really wanted to try out these Crafters Square oil pastels because I remember using oil pastels as a child, and I really, really enjoyed it. And it's just a fun, different medium to work on, especially if your kids are kind of over crayons. So I'm going to get a nice piece of paper here. This is a mixed media paper. I'll link some down below if you want to get some paper like this for crafts, because it's a really heavy weight paper. So it's really good for markers or paints or things like the oil pastels, because it's not going to bleed through. So this is a new item in Crafter's Square. There's 12 colors in here. It says it's a premium bright color assortment. Let's see, we got all kinds of pretty colors in here. White, yellow, orange, red, pink, burnt sienna, blue, light gray, dark green, light green, brown, and black. So this is how oil pastels normally come, and they're just a little bit, I don't know what the word is for it, denser than a crayon, a little bit more vibrant, waxier. Is that the word? So I have to say, using them feels nice. I wouldn't say that they're as vivid as I was expecting them to be, because oil pastels tend to be very, very vivid. It's definitely waxy. I really, really like this blue. That one feels really good. Did I have a purple? Is purple? Has blue. You guys, there's no purple in here, but it says purple in the box over here. What's the deal? There's no purple. I'm very disappointed. We'll use this blue. Very disappointed. The blue's nice though. I will say that. Okay, so here we have a sample of it. I'd have to say not every color seems to be the same. I do like some of these shades right here that feel more like oil pastels. The red didn't really feel much like an oil pastel, but some of the colors did. So I'd have to say, you know, for the price, oh, I'm not liking this pink. For the price, this is actually decent. It's $1. So if you're giving this to your kids and they want to experiment with a different medium, like a really waxy crayon kind of thing, then it's worth it. If you are an artist and you want a good set of oil pastels, this is not it. So thumbs up for our purposes, because these are going to my kids to mess around and play with, and I'm not spending a fortune on a good set of oil pastels that they might not even like. But if you're an artist, like I said, not for you. So thumbs up overall. This little kit was shown to me by one of you guys who sent me a message on Instagram about it. It's a Super Blast Art. They had one of these a long time ago. I feel like I reviewed it, but it was a different brand. I don't think it was the Creative Kids brand. But there's 2 art pieces in here. The package I got is the robot and the dragon. There was also a unicorn and something else one. So there's 2 different styles in this. But this is kind of, let's see what ages. Ages 6 and up, it says. We've got our 2 pens here, blue and green. And this is basically a blow pen where you blow and it gets the ink onto your picture. And then here we have our stencils. We have instructions and then 2 stencils, so you can actually do it more than once. So the first thing to do is to undo the stencil, basically. So let me do that for you and I'll be right back. So I've done one stencil. I'll have to say that did take a minute to do. The stencil itself is not paper. It's like a very thin plastic, like, you know, those report cover plastic. So it's a very sturdy piece. So I'm pretty impressed by that. I'm going to bring over my tray here again so I don't create a mess. Now I'm reading the instructions here, and it recommends if you want to do multiple colors to just punch out one of the stencil pieces at a time. So we'll do one at a time. I didn't do that because I didn't read the instructions. Shame on me. So my little dragon here is going to be all the same color. Then it says you have to assemble your pen. So here's the pen. There's 3 parts in here. You have to pull it apart, turn it around so that the marker point is on the outside now, push it back together, and then put on your little lid here. This is the part that you're going to blow into. Then it says to go ahead and blow gently about 1 inch away from the paper. So I'm going to try it. I'm a little worried that's not going to work. So we'll see. It's not working. All right, so after a few attempts of trying to figure this out, you can see that I got it to work. So what the issue was, don't be like me, the pen, I didn't have it pushed farther enough into there. So this pen tip has to go all the way as far as it can go into this clear piece. Then you can put it back in and you can blow through it to create this. So I did this. There is my dragon. It worked and it was kind of fun, actually. So I'm kind of impressed with it. This stencil's great and it worked, except it didn't lay flat. And if I had done piece by piece, it might have been better, but you could do so many other things with other stencils. Dollar Tree has a ton of stencils right now. That might be an option. And so it definitely did the job. I'm going to try it here with the green one real quick. And I also laid on a little bit of blue just to give you an idea. Yes, it works. I think it has, for $1, I think what you get is pretty amazing and you can have some really creative fun. I'm going to give it a thumbs up, although you are a little bit limited as far as colors go. Overall, you guys, it does what it's supposed to do. It works. It has potential. So I'm going to give it give it a thumbs up. This one, I have no idea what it is or what it's for. It says 2 inflatable thunder sticks, which is in the 4th of July Memorial Day section in the Dollar Tree. I'm not sure if it's just a decoration. Maybe. You all might know what this is. I'm just oblivious to it. Because sometimes when you go to the Dollar Tree and you don't know what things are, you just get curious. All right, so in this package, there's this little straw that I'm taking out. And then you have almost streamer-like. They're made of plastic. There's no instructions. There's a little tab here, which I guess is for the straw. Let's put the straw in here. I guess you blow it up, right? That's what I'm thinking. Okay, let's go for it. Now what do you do with them? I am guessing this is something that you would use at a parade to shake, to, you know, kind of like streamers or a pom-pom. I guess you could also use it for decoration if you wanted to. How'd you guys use this? I mean, it worked and it did what it was supposed to do, and it was super easy with this little straw. I just don't know what to do with it now other than to use it in a parade. Give me your thoughts. Tell me what to do with this. It's going to have a thumbs up, you guys, because it's done what it's supposed to do. Not exactly sure what it's supposed to do after this, but thumbs up. These little chalk pencils were very, very interesting. I saw them at several Dollar Trees too, and my kids were interested in them. So I thought we would give them a shot because they're a little bit unique. They're not just your regular chalk holder and you're not your regular chalk stick. They look like a cute little pencil. This little piece here on top feels like a pool noodle, and it says it's actually erases. And then down here is our chalk that apparently will actually sharpen. What is that? Is that the sharpener? It is. That's the sharpener in there. Okay, so let's take this outside, give it a little experiment to see if our chalk pencil works. So first of all, let's test out how this writes, and it does just like any other chalk holder would. I do like that it is a chalk holder because sometimes the chalk can get pretty small and it's hard to hold. So that's kind of nice. Let's try out the eraser. Like I said, it feels like a pool noodle, and let's try and erase a little bit of the star. And it does erase it, so to speak, but more so smears the chalk a little bit. You can see the residue on the eraser. If you have a bigger block of color of chalk, like over here on the heart, it's going to just smear it around a little bit, not necessarily erase it. But maybe you want something to blend. That would be great for that. So I'd say it kind of does work and does what it says. Let's check out the chalk sharpener. So all you have to do is take off the eraser part of the chalk pencil, and inside there's this little piece that you could use as the chalk sharpener. I tried it first with the thicker end of the chalk, and that was just a little bit more difficult. So I'm going to use the other side that kind of isn't as sharp as it was when I first started to see if that works. And it does. It's actually shaving and molding the chalk inside the sharpener. You can even see all the chalk falling onto the ground. So this sharpener works, but I wouldn't say it's going to make it super sharp. It's just kind of make it a little bit easier to get to a point. And I want to give this a thumbs up. I think it's kind of fun and a unique take. And for $1, I don't think you can go wrong with this one. More outdoor toys from the toy section. This little guy is a sprinkler. And let's see, right back here is where it plugs into your hose, and then it's supposed to let it rip. So I want to know if it works. I just thought it was adorable. For $1, it might be a really fun addition, but I have a feeling it's not heavy enough to kind of like stand its own from the water pressure. Let's go see. Let's try our little lawn water sprinkler. I had to just screw the hose right onto it. It worked very well. I didn't need the adapter in my case, but it does come with an adapter if you need it. And I'm going to set it in my yard and turn the water on. I'm kind of scared. Like I said, I think the power of the hose might make it go everywhere. And it actually works, you guys. A little ball on the top. It works as a sprinkler and all the water's coming out on the top. I definitely think this is a fun item for the summer, especially if you don't have sprinklers that you want to run all day for your kids and you want to cool off a little bit. This works for sure. This one's going to have a thumbs up. So bubble blowers are all the rage at Dollar Tree right now. So I had to get 2 different styles. I have this one here that comes with the bubbles inside. This one does not come with bubbles, and it's a little bit bigger. Now I know before in my last video, my haul, I said that these didn't require batteries, but you know what? I was wrong. This one does. I'm not sure about this one though. Let's check it out. This one does not require batteries at all. So I was wrong about this one totally. This one comes with the bubbles. So in my last video said that the bubbles were kind of sticky, but I don't think this is actually enough bubbles to actually use the little bubble blower. So I'm going to probably use our own bubbles on this. I have a whole video on doing a bubble test of which bubbles are better, dollar store bubbles, cheap bubbles, and I'll put that up in the corner in case you're interested. I did that about 2 years ago. I'm going to put some batteries in this one. We're going to try this big guy out. He's really big. And then we'll also try this little hand powered one too. Let's try these bubble blowers. I went ahead and put some batteries in find my bigger one to see how that would work, and I dip it into some bubble solution and give it a whirl, and it does work. But I wouldn't have to say it's like those bubble blowers that has continuous bubbles going all the time because you have to re-dip it and then do it again. But it definitely does work. Probably could work a little bit better. For $1, we're gonna give this one a thumbs up. For the hand-powered one, I'm gonna try that next. Let's put that inside some bubble solution and give it a whirl. With one pull of the trigger, it really didn't work very well. You had to continuously push the trigger to make the fan inside go. But once you did that, it did look like it worked pretty well. However, it was like a hit and miss. Sometimes when I did it, it worked really, really well, and other times it didn't work well at all. I also think it's how much bubble solution's on the actual bubble wand. I gave it a couple shots, so it might be frustrating for some little ones who aren't getting the bubbles that they want, but then it might be okay for some others just because it's a fun toy to play with. For $1, this definitely works. I'm gonna give it a thumbs up. These are diving octopuses for the pool. I was curious about these because I actually saw the name brand version at Target, and so I wanted to know if these were any different. So there's just 3 little octopuses in here. There's nothing too special about them except that you just throw them in the water and they're diving toys. You go and dive after them. They're that cheap plastic feel. I don't expect them to do too much other than to sink so that you can retrieve them and bring them back up. They are cute though, so we're gonna see if these actually sink. I wanna try those pool toys. I'm gonna do a little experiment here in my kitchen with a glass vase just to get a sample because I'm not at the pool today. I'm gonna fill up the vase with water and try these little pool toys out and see if they sink all the way down to the bottom because that's what we want for a diving toy. So throwing all 3 of them in, and it looks like they're doing the job, going right down to the bottom where they need to be, so you can go down and dive to the bottom of a pool to get them. These are a definite win. You can even play with them in your bathtub. Another thumbs up. This one I found on a trip to Dollar Tree after I did my shop with me in my haul. It's a bubble flying disc, and there's a dipping tray in here. So curious about it. I mean, does this actually work? It's like a frisbee bubble blower, recommended for ages 4 and up, and it says that the bubbles are separate and that when you throw it in the air, it creates million bubbles as it flies through. Will it work? I really want to know. Don't throw away this little piece either because this is your bubble tray. So you'll fill this up with bubble solution, then you just kind of dip it in there really good, and then you're ready to go. The only thing about this that worries me is that when you throw it and somebody catches it, will that bubble solution get all over your hands? Will it get in your eyes, in your face? That could be of a concern. Bubbles can be very messy anyway, so I'm not really concerned about the person who's throwing it as much as I am the person who's trying to catch it. So maybe it's not great for catching. I don't know. So I want to see how good this guy works. For the one I've been waiting to try, our little bubble frisbee. So I'm going to submerge it all the way into the tray. I filled it up with some bubbles quite a bit. And then I'm going to take it out very carefully not to lose all that bubble solution and give it a throw across the yard. And whoa, it actually works. So this is kind of fun. I only see it being a lot of fun going a farther distance and even higher. It's just kind of fun how all the bubbles come out when it gets thrown. So this might be a game where you maybe do kind of a horseshoes kind of game with maybe hula hoops in the backyard. Dollar Tree sells hula hoops where you can try and toss it into one of the hoops or in the rings to see how far you can get. But playing catch with it might be a little bit of a difficult thing to do. It definitely got very, very sticky and very, very wet with that bubble solution. Now I know you guys might have a different opinion of something that worked or didn't work. If that is you, let me know down below in the comments. Maybe you love something that I hated, or maybe you hated something that I loved. I'd like to hear your experiences too. Leave me a comment. I read them all. You guys click subscribe to see more videos like this and give me a thumbs up to show your love.